studio. I just had a message come across and I had to stop for it. I think a little bit. Sorry about that. And today, special VIP guest. All right, my favorite, one of my favorite people of all time, Kim Harris. All right, all you people that want to know more about Kim Harris. All right, we want to stick around for the second segment. Right now, we have business to do, and immediately we're going to go right into the Wainema Ranch. All right, the Wainema Ranch, Eddie Floyd and Shari. They have an awesome job every day to keep the Mustangs fed, to keep their injuries low, and to perform whatever is needed on those wild Mustangs to keep them healthy. And the feed and the care is just awesome, just an awesome amount of money that they take care of, and they do have a few sponsors, and they do have a few volunteers to come in, and thank you so much for the volunteers. How wonderful it is to have the volunteers to come in. However, the money only goes so far, and if you go to WaineemaRanch.com, WaineemaRanch.com, there's a place in there where you can actually donate. We're not talking a lot of money right here. If you can afford a lot of money, how wonderful is that? But $5. If you can find a way that go ahead and donate $5 to a great cause, then they would absolutely love to have you do that. And that would be on WaineemaRanch.com on that page. In other words, if we have a couple of hundred people that are donating $3, $4, $5, and if you have love for the Mustangs, that's one way that you can contribute to the cause, because it is a huge cause, and they took on that responsibility of caring for these animals, and I applaud them, absolutely applaud them, because they're not only wonderful people, is that they do a wonderful thing, and every dollar that goes in as a donation goes directly to the horses. 100% of it goes right directly to the care and feeding of the horses, and also tax deductible. So you have a lot of advantages there. You can certainly help out Eddie and Shari and be tax deductible. All right, and next thing is that here I am on the Great Basin magazine, which is Cameron Hawkins magazine as publisher. All right, I'm on the front cover of that. I have been for the last 3 months. Okay, how wonderful! I got the back page. This is my book, which is right here. We'll talk about that. Sandy Lene, all right, author, Nevada's author, Sandy Lene wrote this book. She says, "Hey, Doc, you're the most interesting person I ever met. I'd like to write your biography." Okay, let's do it. So it took about a year to gather up some information here and there, and she did it. And there it is right there. And also I have on the back cover, inside back cover. There we are there. And my biggest sponsor is right there on the next page. All right. My biggest movie sponsor, that is. Thank you, Cameron Hawkins. Thank you very much. All right. And I am Face of Nevada. Currently, this year, I'm the Face of Nevada. This is the article right here, all right? And that's from the Reno Tahoe magazine. Reno Tahoe magazine, and they bestowed that on me. How wonderful! I just absolutely love that. And this year, they got the 2020 Best Magazine Award right here. There it is. There it is. Now, if you pull up their page, it's like this, little bitty guy. Well, no. I blew this up so y'all could see this. It's an honor. All right, Best Magazine 2020. Sandy Lene. This is the book right here. If you go to my webpage, and my webpage is kind of cool. Cameron Hawkins went in and did the whole smear, and there's a lot of information there. DocDurden.com, and no matter where you go, no matter what prompt you use, you'll always get to this book. So it's interesting reading. I enjoy it. If you do purchase the book, it'll take you about 30 seconds to go through it. Very easy reading, okay? And I thank you, Sandy Lene. How wonderful. And last thing, We got a huge studio going up in Southern California. We have it's a $300 million studio. It's a Christian-based studio, and I'm very, very proud of. And I'm the president of President of Public Relations to 128 countries. And what an honor that is. And that was a unanimous vote. Okay. So that being said, also, if you care to go ahead and sponsor this show, you're more than welcome. Believe me, my partner, and we did partner up, me and Eddie. You can certainly give him a call. And you know what? I don't have his number. What a shame that is. But I will have it on the second segment. First thing I'll talk about will be Eddie, and we partnered up on this right here. And if you would like to be a sponsor, just we'll give Eddie a call, and we'll set you up, and we'll get you the exposure that you certainly need, and what you're paying for. And I guarantee you that's coming from me. Okay. Oh, here's the number right here. 775-384-4444. I like that number. That's a good number. All right. That's Eddie's personal cell phone. So if you are interested in sponsor this show here, Doc Durden, What's Up, Doc? Go give Eddie a call. All right. Thank you so much for this first segment. Second segment. Guess who's here? Kim Harris. I can't wait. I've worked with this lady for a long time, and I love her. Okay. All right. Coming back. All right. We're clear. We're still live, but we're clear. We're clear here, and here.
Okay.
But we're live Facebook.
Well, no, very good. Wow, a lot accomplished.
That first.
Accomplished a lot.
The second.
Just what you talked about.
Oh yeah. And you don't have much time. We only have an hour, and I want to spend the bulk of the time, of course, with Kim Harris, and she certainly deserves that. And you need more time. Actually, you need more time than the 45 minutes that are coming up. But
what is my motto? Nobody wants to hear me for more than an hour. That's why we only do Chautauquas for 45 minutes.
Well, there you got. You got 45 minutes. Yes, the latest Chautauqua you did is where and when?
It was at Gold Hill Hotel. It was Libbie Bacon Custer, wife of General George Armstrong.
Now that I haven't seen.
No, I did it for the first time last Thursday.
First time?
First time.
How'd that go? I know it went well, but...
I think it went pretty well. I mean, I always have to remember that people don't know what I didn't say, if I've memorized something and something had to be changed, and, they don't know that. And so, sometimes I go, gosh, I didn't say that the way I wanted to, but they didn't know that.
That's right. They don't.
And I've been working on it since January.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then the Comstock Foundation canceled the whole lecture series, just like we canceled everything at Dangberg. But Patrick said, we got to make some money.
Right.
We got to figure this out.
Right.
So there was social distancing, half size of the audience, so you know how
Right.
small the room is.
Right.
But it was still wonderful.
Yeah.
And so exciting. A friend of mine, who he and his wife volunteer at Dangberg, they asked me just like 2 months ago, what are you working on now? I said, Libbie Custer, let me tell you all the things I learned about General George Armstrong Custer. And I started talking, and he smiles. He says, my great-grandfather served under General Custer in the Civil War. He was a Wolverine.
Wow.
I was like,
wow.
What?
Yeah.
I can give you some information. So they came as guests, and he brought the tintype.
The tintype.
The tintype of his great-grandfather.
Wow. Totally unexpected.
Totally,
What a biggie.
That
yeah.
was so, but,
what a biggie.
But I had to get things right, because I knew
Sure.
he'd be there. You always have to get things right. But if there's people there that know, but everybody basically said during question and answers that they learned things about the general
Sure.
that they had not known.
And what's the biggest thing about the general that nobody knows really?
You know what? That how much the sense of humor and play and joking he had with his brothers when they were at leisure.
Mm-hmm.
He played jokes on Libbie. He had a sense of humor. They were pranksters. He loved animals and children. I've never known that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't talk about a sense of humor. No,
they
no.
don't. There's a lot of things they don't talk about.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Hi, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, my name's Doc Durden. This is What's Up, Doc, and my guest is Kim Harris here today. All right, Kim Harris is huge on the Chautauqua. She does have the Historical Association that she does, and she speaks about historic history and how wonderful, and she keeps that alive. She keeps that alive, and there are a few of the history people that are around the this greater area that do keep that alive, but none other than Kim Harris to keep that alive. So without me talking, I'm going to go ahead and throw this mic to Kim Harris. Kim Harris, welcome to the show.
Well, Doc, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. What a wonderful show you have.
Well,
I'm just
thank
very
you.
excited to be part of it today.
Thank you. Yes, you're just one of the featured guests of mine, and I'm so happy you're here. All right, so let's just start out where you grew up.
Oh, I'm kind of a local gal. I grew up in the Sierra Nevada. I was born and raised at Donner Lake, right near Truckee, and then when I was about 14 or so, moved to the Bay Area, and that was quite a shock because people lived very close to each other. I only went there to visit my grandparents. I didn't think you had to live there.
A Bay Area. Now you're talking about what city in the Bay?
Well, San Mateo County, which
I lived in San Mateo.
Yeah, we had the same stomping ground.
Sure, yes.
So I went to high school there.
Yes.
And,
was it San Mateo High or was it Aragon High or?
No,
you went to
South San Francisco.
South. Okay, yeah.
South City High. Wish it was down in San Mateo.
Yeah.
We were in the fog belt.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It
so
was.
The Farrah Fawcett hairstyles at that time, I'm dating myself, took a lot of hairspray.
Yeah. It did.
That's where I grew up. But I played hockey, ice hockey all up and down the peninsula.
Ah, yes. So all the different cities, whatever ones participated, you played ice hockey. Didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was. So when did you move to Nevada and why?
Well, I moved, actually it wasn't Nevada, but it was South Lake Tahoe in 2003, and moved up there with my second husband, and we ended up getting divorced, but I stayed up there and met my current husband, Doyle Harris.
Love Doyle.
Oh, everybody loves Doyle. Who doesn't love Doyle? Who doesn't love Doyle? I got to get myself in there sometimes. There's so much love for him. But in 2011, we moved down to Carson Valley, to Genoa. And I didn't want to live anywhere else but Genoa because the rest of Carson Valley didn't have trees.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So, but we ended up living there. It wasn't because I put my foot down. We just got very, very lucky. And I had already been immersing myself in the local history, of course, because I was a member and a writer with the Pony Express Association, the National Pony Express Association, where we reenacted the famous rides that happened in 1860-61. And the more I learned about that, because I didn't like anything about the West. I didn't like the West, but I liked the Pony Express. It showed how ignorant I was because we were living right in the West, right? And so I learned more and more, and then that led to other things. It led to all of the rich history that we had in California and the gold rush, which then led to the Comstock lode. And people were coming through Carson Valley going one way in 49 and then going back the other way to Sun Mountain in 1859. And the more I learned, I ended up learning more about Nevada history than I had ever known about California history. And I was always a history nerd in school. My father taught me that history is cyclical. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're not going to learn the next time it comes around. And then I had great history teachers. But the more it only took 2 months to live in Nevada for me to love the smell of sagebrush. I was like, oh, what's that? That smells really nice. I kind of like that. What's sagebrush? Well, I kind of like that. But we have pine trees in our yard, so we're doing good. But anyway,
you do. Good sized ones too.
Yeah. But that's how I became immersed in our local history, and it is so exciting. I think Nevada is the most exciting and unique state of our country.
I'm with you, absolutely with you on that. I can't agree more. How wonderful, yes. And so with that, now you have probably argued. Well, I guess there may be an argument about this. I don't know, but you have the oldest saloon in Nevada, in Genoa.
Oh, we claim we do.
Yes, yeah.
I do. Yeah,
I think you do too.
And it was, as it stands today, it was built in 1861. 1865, but it was established on that same spot. As a matter of fact, our very good friend Sandy Lene,
Yes.
one of the earlier books that she wrote, she found the history, the complete history, or what the archaeology and the family tree of that saloon from stem to stern, and you know how well she researches.
Yes.
And that we believe it's the oldest running saloon. And even during Prohibition, it still operated, but it was like a soda and ice cream fountain. But it's still operating.
Still operating, exactly. I've been in there probably only twice, but what a feeling. As soon as you walk in through the door, you feel the history.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when Sandy was on the show, she talked about a picture that kept on falling off the wall. It kept on falling off the wall, and this is a substantial picture, and it keeps on falling off the wall. While Sandy, she's viewing this lady that's hugging this picture. Well, it happens to be a ghost, an apparition, or and hugging the picture and didn't want it sold. And,
Yeah.
That was the day house or Antiques Plus.
Antique Plus?
Right there in Genoa.
Oh, okay, not the bar, but Antique Plus. Okay.
I'm sure there's a similar
Similar
idea. Yeah.
Because the most haunted places, as I've learned from Sandy, are antique stores and museums. And the Genoa Bar is a museum unto itself. There are people that attach themselves to items. I mean, imagine if you wanted something special to go to somebody and you passed and it didn't.
Oh,
You'd
yes.
be a little upset about that.
Yes.
So how that little picture thing ended is that the proprietor promised not to sell the picture,
Right.
and so hung it back up. Haven't had a problem since.
Right.
Haven't had a problem since because promised not to sell the picture. All right, so
If that doesn't prove Sandy's psychic ability, what does?
I know. Yeah.
And I feel, that's why I feel that when I give the tours of Genoa, or when I am a Chautauquan of a historic character, I feel I work with them. I ask them to help me because
Yes.
they don't have to be my best friend, but they're going to want their story told correctly.
Yes.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I feel that they're all around us, and that's why I try and keep on my toes, because not because I have any fear or anything, but I want to do them justice, and I want to make sure that they're admired as much as I admire them.
Well, I just learned something from you just now, and that is that you ask them to help you. All right. Now at the studio, they like to get mischief and play games and everything, and they drain the batteries and things like that. And some cameras work, some don't, and everything is good when I get home. All right. But I go in and I tell them, please leave the cameras alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're the living. You have the right, but they don't know that they are just being mischievous.
Yes.
Something that they can play with, and you have to explain to them that we need to be serious now. This has got to be a good show, and that's when I talk to whomever I'm going to be portraying, I say, please help me to tell your story the way you want it told. But remember, we want to put on a good presentation so that people understand your story. So help me make it good. It's going to take your help too.
Now, see, that's what I learned from you just now is you're asking them to participate and to help you. So that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to ask them to help me. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
That's great. I never thought about that. Yes. I'm usually very, very polite about but I said not do this. Ask them to participate and help out. All right, good. I will do that from now on. All right, now what I'm really curious is that for you to tell our audience is that you have a new character that you developed just recently, and could you expand on that right from the beginning?
I'd love to. I'm excited about her. I portray 8 different women, which this one is one of them.
Okay, now let me stop you right there. Could you name, just to give you, I want to make sure that everybody knows the different characters that you do. So could you name all 8 of those before we get into?
I'll give it a try. Julie Boulay, the famous darling of the Comstock. Laura D. Fair, who also came from the Comstock, owned the Tahoe house, but she was a murderer. She's got her story. Lillian Virgin Finnegan, who started the Genoa candy dance in Genoa, Nevada, and also was a suffragist.
Remember that one.
I also portray Charley Parkhurst.
Yes, I filmed that one.
Yes, you did.
And let me tell you, this girl here, you see her right now, how beautiful she is. Well, this is all the eye patch and the whole. This is one story that needs to be told, and it's a historical story, absolutely. And she does it the best I've ever. I wouldn't know what was going on if I didn't see it with my own eyes with Kim Harris. Yeah. So let's. Yeah.
Well, Charlie's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
The story, folks, look it up. Charley Darky Parkhurst, or One-Eyed Charlie, as Charlie was called.
Fabulous.
I also portray Mrs. C.M. Stowe, or Kate Stowe Sweezy, as she was later known. She was a clairvoyant physician that was on the Comstock and actually did in the 1860s and 1870s appear at Gold Hill Hotel and also in Virginia City. She stayed at the International Hotel, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to count everybody. Also Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden. Yes.
And also, let's see, Calamity Jane. We just took on Calamity Jane back in Chautauqua. And then now, the character that you asked about is Libbie Bacon Custer, the wife of General George Armstrong Custer.
Perfect, because we're going to break, and when we come back, we're talking about Libbie. All right. Come on back, please. All right. Kim Harris.
All right, we're out. We're live.
We're live.
So I was thinking, hearing that and going, oh, I got to do something. I got to segue somewhere.
That was good. Let's see here. Lizzie Borden. That'd be very, very interesting to. And I know you had that character, but I think I might have. God, I think I might have seen that. Was that at the hotel also?
No,
I didn't see it
then. I didn't have it at the hotel because it wasn't Comstock relevant.
Okay.
But
yeah.
At Dangberg, and I'm not patting myself on the back. It's just the amount of.
I'll do that.
Well, 170 people came to the Chautauqua. And Doyle said, he goes, whoa, look how popular are. I said, no, they want to hear my explanation as Lizzie Borden that I didn't do it. They want to hear it. Well, when I was done with the Chautauqua, of 170 people, only 10 people still raised their hand when I said, how many still believe she did it? Only 10 people.
Only 10. That's not bad.
Because of all of the research I did, I don't believe she did it. We have lots of homicides that aren't solved now. She was Victorian. She was treated like a Victorian person. They didn't have any proof, but because of her personality and she wasn't screaming and crying that she found her father dead,
right.
They said, she's there's something wrong with her. Well, she was doped up by her doctor by the time the police got her there because she was a woman. They didn't want her to get hysterical.
All the sedatives type thing.
Thing happened with Laura Fair. Is during her trial, she was high as a kite. And it was public opinion, which is Libbie Borden was exonerated. Lizzie Borden was exonerated, but she was shunned from the public.
Right.
How long was she shunned? Do you think?
The rest of her life. Yeah. She lived into her 80s. And so she and her sister, just kind of lived as recluses up on the hill. She didn't leave her hometown. People said, "Why didn't you leave? Why didn't you leave?" And she says, "This is where I live. This is my home. If I left, I would look guilty."
Yes.
So it's very interesting that when you read everything you need to read and research about these people, and you find they're good, the bad, and the ugly, but you find a lot for women during the late 1800s. Public opinion, because they were supposed to act a certain way. Victorian standards. And it happened to Charley, it happened to Calamity, it happened to every woman except for Lillian Virgin Finnegan, who she was hard to play because she was a good girl.
Now, we'll go ahead, since there is a high interest of Lizzie Borden, we'll bring that in, and also high interest of Calamity.
Okay.
We'll bring those in also. Okay. Those are.
Just ask.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Back to the show, and it is a show. We have Kim Harris here on What's Up, Doc. My name is Doc Durden, and boy, am I privileged to have Kim Harris. We just went to the whole lineup of the Chautauqua characters that she does, and of course, she's my girl, and she just does them perfectly. So now we're going to be talking about Libbie.
Yes,
Libbie.
Custer.
Hi, who is Libbie?
Well, Libbie Custer was the wife of General George Armstrong Custer. Now, before everybody gets their panties in a bunch, because he had a bad reputation, I am somehow related to him. Didn't want to tell anybody when I was a kid, because my dad told me, well, we're related to George Armstrong Custer. I said, do you think I want to tell people that? But the more, the older I got, and then when I started doing characters, I thought, why did Libbie Custer write 3 books and go on a lecture series to keep her husband's legacy alive? I didn't know, but I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to tackle that? So I had a couple books on my shelf. My husband had a box that he acquired of Civil War books, and I didn't know why General Custer's books were on my shelf, but I grabbed one, and it was called Custer Victorious, and it was written by Gregory Irwin. And it was about his Civil War victories, which I had no idea he was in the Civil War. And he was a hero. He was the boy general. Probably a lot of you out there actually knew it, and maybe it was myself that didn't. And it was during that time, in 1864, that he married Libbie Custer. And then he tried his hand at other things after the war, but then eventually joined the 7th Cavalry, U.S.'s regular army, as lieutenant colonel. Always called General Custer because socially you retained your highest rank, socially. And the more I studied, I read all about him first because I wanted to know why she would defend his honor. And the more I learned what a scapegoat he was. Now, still today, I'm on some Facebook forums, some wonderful Facebook forums with some wonderful scholars, including Gregory Irwin. And reading his book turned my entire thinking around about the general. The more I learned the intricacies of battles and what happened around the Plains Indian Wars. And these were not the same people, or they were not the same soldiers that fought with him in the Civil War. That was a patriotic war. This was that there was soldiers that joined just for the money, soldiers that joined just to come west. There were soldiers that joined because they had hoped after 1874, when the general discovered gold at French Creek in the Black Hills, they had hoped to just kind of jump, into being wealthy miners. So when you do your research, and don't just read one book, but you read everything you can, papers, anything you can get your hands on, you start to see newspapers, you start to see there's more to the story, and especially in newspapers, even today, we know this today, they're seeing it right now, there's political slants. Certain newspapers are pro, certain newspapers are con. I saw this with Calamity Jane as well. Saw this with a couple other characters that I researched. And I came away with a whole new respect for that man, and I knew exactly why Libbie spent the rest of her life defending him, and she lived to 4 days short of her 91st birthday.
Wow.
She helped to get monuments erected. She wrote 3 books. She was, while she was alive, he was thought of as a hero. And while men that served with him in the Civil War, they helped to keep his legacy alive. And it was after she died, somewhere around she died in 1933, but somewhere around the 50s, and had to do with the climate at the time of, a lot of Native Americans that lived out there in the Dakotas. All of a sudden, he became a pariah, an egomaniac, and people were ignoring the big picture. Okay, he was sent out there. He worked for he actually had a good relationship with the Sioux and the Cheyenne, but he had his orders, and he did what he was supposed to do. And the biggest thing that I learned, and this is why I will stand by the fact that he was a scapegoat, is the scouts for the Army told his regiment there were 500 to 800 Indians, when in reality, on that day, at the Little Bighorn River, there were thousands. He hadn't a chance. He had not a chance.
No.
So, I mean, I get goosebumps because I just asked her to help me. I said, we have to do this, and you did this when you were around. Let's help keep his legacy alive. And she was right there by my side.
Now, what side of the family are you?
Well, we're still researching that because my father was big on that. But if it was direct, either we are shirt-tail cousins, because there is Custer in our family and it's from that area, or we would only be descended from his younger brother Nevin, who was the only brother that stayed back on the farm. Custer perished with his other two younger brothers right next to him.
Right next to him.
Yeah. And they weren't married. And he and Libbie didn't have children, so I could only be directly descended from that. So I'll keep you.
Yeah. Well, it's excellent what you said, and this always should be done if you're studying history. Is certainly you need to go ahead and read multiple books.
All right. Yeah, it's very, very, very important. Don't just take this one side, of this author, because the other author down the way may have a twist on it. All right. So I read the multiple books, and that's what she does. She makes sure that these characters are spot on with the history that she does, and I know for a fact that she gets into the history of her characters because they are spot on. And I learned so much from her, and Libbie was new for me, and I haven't seen a performance yet, and I will, and as well as you, anybody that's in the greater area need to also see her performances. I don't care what it is. If you don't, then you're missing out. And it's not only historical. Is that she's an actress, and that is plainly seen when she does her Chautauquas. Okay, she becomes that character. And talking about that, I'm very, very familiar with that. Well, you know what? We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Right now, we're going to talk about the one that we talked during the break, and that's Libbie. Lizzie Borden. Now that has worldwide interest, and you did a lot of research on that, and that piques a lot of people's interest, as it does mine. So please, from the beginning again, let's talk about Lizzie Borden.
Yeah, be happy to. And actually, I didn't pick her. There's a longer story to it, but my friend, who actually got me to play Julia Boulay because she thought I should at least be a prostitute instead of portraying a Pony Express rider when she first saw me. She picked the character of the Borden sisters, and we were going to do a short two-person play. And then for reasons only beknownst to her, she did decide that she just didn't want to do it anymore. So after spending a couple of dollars on all kinds of books and things like that to get the character down, we set the character aside. But I had opened my mouth and promised to another group that I would be doing a Chautauqua. So they reminded me about a month beforehand. And I had to pick everything back up, and in 4 weeks, read everything and write a monologue, because that's what we do. We write our monologue and then to rehearse it. And what I read is I read her court documents from her trial, and I read several books on her. One was just a book about where she came from and the whole town and the type of people. And I sat with her. I got her a teacup of coffee. Each night we sat there at the table, and I asked for her help because I said, Lizzie, we got to do this. And she reminded me she preferred Lizbeth. So I said, okay, Lizbeth, we got to do this. And we did. what happened was, when I was through researching her, and you're never through because you're always going to learn something new. But when I had to say, I got to stop now because I got to write, I was convinced she didn't do it. I was thoroughly convinced she didn't do it. And so when I wrote the monologue and I performed it for a couple of small groups, and I got the idea to say at the end of the question and answer, which we have when we do Chautauqua, we do in person, in character, and then as a historian.
I need to stop you right there because I'm a witness to her question and answers, and these are all spontaneous questions. Oh. And that's quite a show in itself, all right? Because she doesn't avoid any of the questions, and she does answer as amazing as it is. She does an absolute excellent job of answering all those questions that are just spontaneous, and so and that's the show in itself. So okay, I need to stop you there. So continue, please.
Well, with the question and answers, I have to say that when you start out as a Chautauquan, you're afraid of the answers because they're going to ask you something I don't know. You learn not to be afraid of that, and then you learn to want those questions because you can't fit everything into a 45-minute monologue that you crammed into your head about this character, so you want them to ask questions. But then I asked a question. I said, okay, when we were all done, I said, how many of you still believe she did it? Well, actually, at each performance, the smaller performances, it was just one, nobody raised their hand, and another, maybe a couple people raised their hands. So I was thinking, pat myself on the back, I think I'm doing pretty good. Well, at Dangberg, Home Ranch Historic Park, where I'm also an events manager, we also have Chautauquas out there, and I showed up one night just to do the Chautauqua, and we've never had 170 people out there for a Chautauqua. It's always been like 50 to 100. So my husband, being you know him,
sure.
He's so wonderful to me. He says, "Oh, honey, look how much everybody loves you." And I said, "No, they want to see how the heck I'm going to explain that she didn't do it. She didn't kill her stepmother and father with an axe." So I got up there and I just did my thing, and then I asked at the end. I said, "Now, by show of hands, how many people still think she really did it?" Only 10 people raised their hands.
Not bad percentage.
That was one of my most favorite moments of being a Chautauqua.
Yeah.
Very good. That ends this segment, and we are coming back with Kim Harris, our special VIP guest today. All right, come on back. All right, just a couple of minutes. All right. That is so interesting. Say now, is there?
And see, I don't credit myself. I credit her. She helped me look where I needed to look to tell her story.
Oh yeah, no, it's a collaboration.
Yeah, it's a collaboration.
Yeah.
I want people to understand.
Yes.
Open to it.
Yes, exactly.
It's a collaboration, and being an actress. You mentioned being an actress.
Oh, yes, you are.
We're going to have a Chautauqua workshop.
Well, actually, you're an actor. So you're an actor, okay.
We were going to have a Chautauqua workshop this year, but of course COVID shut that down. We're going to do it next year. Being a Chautauquan is not standing up there and saying, "Hello, I am President Lincoln. I was the president." No,
that's not you.
No. You might as well read it.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to suspend disbelief, and McAvoy Lane, who's Mark Twain, he did that for me. That's why I became a Chautauquan.
Yeah. He, very, very, very good. You probably won't get it better than Mark Twain. Yeah.
That's why he's the ghost of Twain. But I don't think Mark Twain died. I think he just inhabited Mac's body.
I know. He's just a remarkable man, and he's still current. It's just amazing.
What about him is he can weave current events to whatever's happening that morning into his.
That's tough.
That's tough. I wish I could do that. I'm amazed at that.
Yeah. Bring that in.
So I'm going to ask you this question, and it's why do you think Libbie
is innocent of her crime that she was on trial for? What makes you convinced?
That's your
That's
award.
part of your yeah, that's part of your award right here. It was you talk about collaboration. It was a collaboration of you and all the other girls that were involved with this movie right here. It was all, for the most part, all woman cast, and you were absolutely brilliant, as well as the opening scene with Linda. She was absolutely brilliant, and the whole. I just love.
Yeah, she just said stand by. Sorry, Doctor, on there.
No, I would have.
Don't hear her say that.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. Let's see here.
So you were going to ask why I don't think Lizzie did it?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't elaborate then, because you might have other questions about it.
Well, I like to. Number one is, yeah.
Yeah, I can say that briefly.
Welcome back. All right, we're here. What's up, Doc? My name is Doc Durden. My special guest today, Kim Harris. I'm telling you, this has been packed with history here today, and I'm learning so much. And we just got done with. We haven't got done with it yet because I have a question about Lizzie Borden. In other words, this is a global thing. Everybody's interested did she do it or didn't she do it? Well, Kim Harris, she believes 100% in her heart and mind that she did not do it. So my question to Kim Harris is, what makes you think, of all the history that you've read and everything, why she did not do it?
Of the research that I did, reading the trial, reading her inquest, and reading the fact that there was never any evidence, no matter how hard they looked for it, there was never any evidence. They also made up their minds, the police did, like right away. As a matter of fact, as she was going to her parents' funeral, which was just in a few days after the murder, the detective in charge leaned over to the mortician and said, "Don't bury those bodies. Put them in the morgue. We're going to take a look at them." And so they made up their mind because of how she acted. They felt that she should have been breaking down hysterical because it was her father and stepmother, and she came upon this hideous scene. What they're not taking into account, and her doctor sat right there with her every moment of the trial, along with her sister, is that the doctor already had her drugged by the time the police got there because he was afraid she'd be hysterical, so she just simply wasn't reacting the way the police wanted her to react. So when the trial, when she was acquitted, she said, "Thank God, now you'll look for the real murderer," and they never did. Because they were sure
they were totally convinced, and it would be a waste of time.
Yep, they never looked any further.
Never looked any further.
Yeah, and with the her being, that's a point that I really didn't realize, is that she was so drugged up because of her personal doctor administering sedatives or whatever, just to kind of like smooth her out, and the officers that come in, they expect a whole different attitude, and they didn't get it. So I can understand that. Yeah. Interesting. But I would truly love to see that portrayed by you on the next Chautauqua that you do. That would be very, very interesting to see you.
Listeners that have a venue where they provide entertainment, they can hire me.
Yeah. Well, you know what, and that's money well spent, folks. Let me tell you. So let's get into that. Kim Harris is an entertainer, all right, and that's what she does, all right. Among other things, she does run the Dangberg Ranch in Minden, and I've been there several times and done several shows, and I did a Chautauqua there too with Cody, and boy, it was great. I loved it, and that's actually part of. on my webpage. It'll be, she's talking with Cody. But anyway, she does it better than anybody. So as far as entertainment value, you don't get better than Kim Harris. Money well spent. So she's going to tell you how how you can get in touch with her. So please, let us know.
Yeah. It's very easy. You can give me a call, 775-220-0605.
All right, now slow that down. Let's say it again. 775-220-0605. 0605. All right, 220-0605. All right. Yeah. That sounds like it's fairly easy. All right. And also, you get in touch with me, too. Also on my page, Dr. Durden. Any information that you want Kim Harris to have, I'll forward that to Kim. Then y'all get together and get this going. But she's definitely the life of the party. She's when I say that is because her history is just absolutely second to none. And she's an actor. All right, I don't separate either you're an actor, and she is on top of that list as far as being an actor. So it's money well spent. All right, now there's another character, Calamity Jane. She is a very, very historical person due to Wild Bill Hickok. She came into the history books, I'm sure because of him. Did she have a life before Wild Bill Hickok?
Yeah. She had a life before Wild Bill Hickok. Sure, she did. Again, that's another character that there's a lot of myth that was built up around her. But she became, as Wild Bill Hickok did and Buffalo Bill Cody, she became a genuine legend, either through herself and the tall stories she told, or just being there at the time. She only knew Wild Bill Hickok for about 6 weeks before he was murdered.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he picked her. He was coming through Fort Laramie and picked her up, and she didn't have a stitch of clothing on. Just basically, she was a drunken mess, and they outfitted her with some buckskins, and they rode on into Deadwood.
Okay, and that's how she's beloved. That's how she is known.
And she never, for some reason, in the 1890s, when she was interviewed one time, that was the one and only time she claimed that they had been married. But she always, most of her life, thought of him as a friend because he was one of the few people that was nice to her, that would talk to her in the street in Deadwood and would invite her to sit down and have coffee or something. So she really cared for him because he was a friend. So that's kind of one of the myths you separate. But I want to tell your listeners that you are solely responsible for me being Calamity Jane. Because you were Wild Bill Hickok, and we got this idea to put on a Wild West extravaganza.
Yes.
And I thought, well, it'd be natural for me to be Calamity Jane. The one thing I had to learn to do, and it took a few years, was to crack a whip.
Oh, yes,
that's right.
Who else would teach me?
Yeah.
So he taught me how to crack a whip, and he taught me how to use two whips at the same time.
I was just going to say, not only one, you're using two, and that's absolutely brilliant. Talking about the Wild West show, it was the Wild West Buffalo or something.
What was it?
Buffalo Bill's Wild West.
Buffalo Bill Wild West, and it was absolutely sellout. It was absolutely brilliant, and boy, did we have a good time with that. And we had different characters also, and I certainly played Wild Bill Hickok, and then we had Cody playing Buffalo Bill Cody, and that's Chuck. I have a problem with his last name.
Baldauskas.
Yeah. I've always had a problem with that, and not only that, I can't spell it. He did a wonderful job, and that was at the Dangberg Ranch in Minden, where she has events constantly. And now that with the virus thing going around, that's a little bit. You have social spacing and everything, but you have a lot of space out there.
We had to cancel the entire event season, but as the director, Mark Jensen, likes to say, he says, this is a beautiful place to socially distance. There's a lot of distance out here.
Yes.
And you can see the Job's Peak, you can see the Sierras, you can see the pine nuts. We have 5.5 acres of the ranch, but there's more acreage around us from Park Cattle Company. And it's a county park. It's open sunup to sundown, and when it's staffed, we have some of the buildings open. And then hopefully next year we can get back to normal and give house tours again and have events out there. Being the events manager this year, I became the garden manager.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, some of the biggest events around the area are from the Dangberg Ranch. It's a constant deal. You have a lot of sponsors. You have quite a few sponsors. Yes, and a lot of those sponsors do participate in all these different shows too. Yeah, I see them there. And one of the biggest ones for me, not only did we do a Chautauqua like I was talking about, and it was about Cody with Buffalo Bill Cody, and I was the ghost of Wild Bill Hickok, and we kind of brought that together at an hour and 3 minutes. My last camera, all the cameras were going out, and my last camera got the last seconds of the show, and it was a minute, and it was 63 minutes, and that was amazing. One camera left, and that was the reason why at the end you only had one shot, because one camera. But I'm going to have that on my Facebook page. Excuse me, my web page probably within the month. I'm editing right now, and I have to clean that up a little bit. But now getting back to Kim, of course. With Calamity Jane, what did she do earlier? What was her? What did she do?
Well, I'll try to make it as brief as possible because she's another one who has an exciting life. She was an orphan at 11. She ended up in around Salt Lake City, put her 2 younger siblings in, as she said, polygamy homes. And she tried to get work and couldn't, so she went out. She got on the stage and went out to another fort and tried to do things as a laundress or whatever she could do. And she was adopted by I think a captain and his wife, but she had a streak of mischievousness, and she just kind of couldn't keep herself out of trouble. She had learned when she was younger, when her family was coming out west, she had learned how to shoot and how to hunt. She was an excellent marksman, both with pistols and a rifle. And they taught her to drive a wagon, so she was an excellent bullwhacker. So the only thing she could do with success and earn money was to join. She would like to say she was a scout, but no, she would drive freight wagons and so forth. But when she wanted to go scouting and get hooked up on like General Crook's expedition into the Black Hills, she disguised herself as a man, as a soldier. And she did fine until she got a little drunk.
All right, this is it. Unfortunately, I wanted to ask her, was she ever a lady?
She was. More often, she would dress as a woman and run a boarding house or something than she was dressed in buckskins.
All right. We are out of time, and this is absolutely, I'm telling you, time when again. I have the greatest guest, and that certainly includes Kim Harris. With Chautauqua, she has 8 characters that she wants to show you. And we're out. All right, so we're still, and don't. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this phone and I'm just going to cruise their studio. So at the end. All right, every show is going to end like that. Okay. All right. Bye, Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. Again, Kim Harris here. I couldn't have had a better guest today. Thank you so much. And this will be all tomorrow online. I'll get this edited tonight, and this all will be up tomorrow. All right. Thanks again, Facebook. Bye.